Okay, now you have gone through the learning module in concurrent design. Our goal is that you, by following the things you have heard, will work better when you are making your business model and your business plan. So to be exact, you should, together with the students in your group, go through 4 work sessions. And after the 4 work sessions, you should end up with a business model based on Osterwalder. And at the end, you can use the business model and you can take the information from it and transform it more or less into a business plan. If you're going to be more exact on what you should focus on regarding the work and the sessions, you should start by discussing the business idea with the other students in your group. Maybe you have done this already, maybe not, but even so, it's important that you discuss the business idea so you have a good understanding on what idea you will be working on. The next thing you need to do regarding the people or you and your competence is that before you start the first work session, it would be smart to go through all the learning modules. Then you will know concurrent design. Then you will know about the Osterwalder and the Osterwalder canvas that will be used. And also you will have learned more general things about entrepreneurship that will be useful when you will be working in the sessions. It's possible to start the first session without having finished all the learning modules, but we recommend that you as soon as possible go through all the learning modules. The next thing you should do in your group is to discuss your competence. Hopefully when you have gone through the theory models you will have much of the same knowledge and competence, but it's smart to discuss it because some of you might have some prior knowledge or competence that might be useful when you're working in the sessions, and in that way some people can have more responsibility in some areas using prior knowledge or expertise. So this is important. Another thing you should do right away when you get together with your group, that will be to decide one person that will be main responsible for starting the work sessions. These work sessions will find place using Hangout as a tool, and you will use the Google Drive and maybe some other tools, but it's smart to have one responsible person who invites the others into the work sessions. Okay, further, the tools. To learn the tools, to be able to do or have the work sessions, you should go through the course module in OpenClass, module 1, and there is one area there, or one box you can press, which says Introduction to Course and Course Environment. By reading the information here, you will see how to open the necessary accounts, and you should also use some time to get familiar with OpenClass, the LMS. You should use some time to get to know Hangout, which is the tool that you will use for video communication, and you should also get familiar with the Google Drive, because Google Drive is the tool you will use to co-write or write together, to cooperate by developing the business model. Another thing you need to do is that if your business idea is special in some way, so that you actually will need some more tools to fill out or work with a business model, you should decide on this as early as possible. So if you need some other tools to actually do the work in the work sessions together with the other students, you should be able to identify these tools as soon as possible. Okay, over to the process. Now you have a figure in front of you. This figure shows that there are 4 different sessions, and what we can see is that the first session, it's called situation analysis. The second session is called study of possibilities. The third session is called selection of solutions, and the final and fourth session is called final result approval. And your final result will most likely be a business model at this stage. Some of you might do a fast and good job, so you might have more or less finished your business model after the session 3, and then you can go forward and move on and try to make the business plan in the 4th session. But some of you might need 4 sessions to finalize your business model, and then you have the basic or the foundation for making a business plan later on. On the left hand side we see a list of topics. These are the topics in the Osterwalder business model, or canvas, Osterwalder canvas model. So what's important now is that when you start session 1, you should actually do situation analysis on all the 9 topics. You should not go or start looking for other possibilities, because that will be addressed in session 2. So in the first session you actually describe the situation that you have regarding the 9 topics in the Osterwalder model. When the situation analysis is finished, then you will get ready for session 2. And in session 2, then you look at possibilities regarding the 9 topics in Osterwalder, because there might be some possibilities that are not reflected in the situation analysis. When all the reasonable possibilities are on the table and described in the document you are co-writing on, then you should move to session 3. And in session 3 you should do a selection of solution. That means if you look at the customer segments, first we say that the situation today is that the segment look like this and this. And in the study of possibilities we might find, okay, there might be some new segments that can be relevant, or maybe not. But we've described all the customer segments that might be possible for us regarding our business model. And in the 3rd session, then we do a selection. Then we decide, okay, we have described many possible customer segments, but these are the ones we will focus upon in our business model. And we will do the same with all the 9 topics. So please, because this is a known problem and challenge when you work concurrent, please stay focused on the actual task in each session. So start with the situation analysis in your first work session, then work with study of possibilities regarding the same topics in Osterwalder canvas, and in the 3rd session then you do the selection of solutions that seem relevant for your business model. If we go to the next slide, what you need to do now, to the point, like we say in this slide, you should in your group set time and date for all the 4 sessions. We recommend that in this course that you start the first session in week 3 of the course, and that you have one work session for the next 4 weeks. But you need to set a date and time that all the partners in the group agree upon, and that it's very important that all of you get together at the time you have agreed upon, and that you you set aside maybe 2 or 3 hours for each session. So remember, the session is not a meeting; it's where you actually come together and work on the different tasks that should be performed in each session. If it's possible, you might divide the main responsibilities on the 9 Osterwalder topics among you in the group. If you all feel that you have the same competence after having taken this course and done the learning and looked at the learning modules, you might not have to divide the responsibility, but we recommend, if this seems natural, that one of you have main responsibility for each of the 9 Osterwalder topics. Another thing that's important is that after each session you should plan and agree on what we call homework activities. This means if you have set aside 2 or 3 hours for session 1, you might not have the time to finalize the situation analysis. So there might be some homework regarding some of the topics and so on. You may also, if you choose, plan to meet again and have an extra session regarding situation analysis, or one of the other or for one of the other sessions, but that's up to you. But it's important that you plan and that you agree on homework activities and that you meet prepared for the next session. One way to help you have focus on what you need to do before and after a session is to make what we call an activity list. Activity list is often used in concurrent design projects, and this can be as simple as a Word document or an Excel file where you write down activities that you know need to be done. So it's not very difficult. You write down the activity, you write down who is responsible. We often have a field with the status. Is it done, in progress, or not done? And we also set a deadline. When do the person responsible need to have finished this activity? So this was to the point. So now, hopefully, when you have gone through the theory and you have learned the tools, you will be able to plan your own work sessions, and you will be able to actually do work in work sessions to make your own business model based upon Osterwalder. Thank you.